Today, I'm going to show you a secret weapon that I use to turn AI chats into profit. This is super important and nobody's talking about it, but it's very, very powerful. You see, far too many people are going to AI, chatting, getting good results, getting good data, but at the end of the day, they have nothing to show for it. Like, for example, this post I did about SEO Presser, which was an old WordPress plugin. This is actually pretty good content, but now what? Do I put it on a blog? Do I make a post? Do I put it on a website? Do I sell it? Do I make a PDF, an image? What do I do with all of this information? And far too many of us are getting overwhelmed with all of the stuff that we do with AI. I know I, for one, I have things everywhere, and it's hard to keep track of what I do, what I have, and I want to start making money with it, but a lot of people don't know how. So today, I'm going to show you exactly how to do it, a format that I use that is kind of like a never fail format that I can use to go sell content, I can use to put on a website, the whole 9 yards. I can even keep them on my computer and search them for later and recall them. This is big, important stuff, because otherwise what you're going to do is you're just going to have this big ongoing list in ChatGPT, which is crazy. So what we're going to do today is talk about how to turn AI chats into profit. First of all, this is the big idea. AI doesn't just give you answers, it can actually create assets. Those chats can now become HTML pages, Word documents, PDF files if you want to give them away, text files like a TXT or a document or something like that, checklists if you want to make a checklist file, calculators, code if you want to put code on your website, reports, lead magnets, sales pages, training notes, directories, and more. But the easiest, fastest, most useful format is HTML, and I'm going to show you why. Actually, if you look at this page here, my notes page, it's created in HTML. HTML is pretty much what runs most of the internet. PHP, HTML, a lot of these are very interchangeable. PHP is like HTML with code. HTML is just a format that we can use to start with something. This is very important because otherwise I would have to have a Word doc opener, a PDF opener, I'm going to leave a page, all of this stuff. So what I want is I want everything contained in one spot so that I can use it, recall it, and actually follow along. Now, when we go through, what I'm going to show you has actually made me a lot of money. I've made multiple 6 figures, multiple 7 figures with this type of stuff, going through and building membership sites, building websites, all kinds of things like that. I'll never forget when I first learned HTML back in the year 1999, I was using AOL and GeoSites and things like that, where you would create big giant websites with a what you see is what you get editor. And it would make its own format, it would host on its own stuff, and it was cool. But when I got into HTML, I learned that I can literally take a piece of code, right? Like this SEO Presser code here that talks about this plugin. I can go in here and say, now make this a full HTML page with links, etc. And it'll actually go through and make this an HTML page. And I'm going to show you why this is important while it's creating it. But when I made my first HTML page, I actually built a website for a cigar company, and we went through and scanned their cigar catalog. I went through and made all the links, made all the order buttons and everything like that. And what I learned was that HTML was such an adaptable language that everything understood it. So like the browser understood it, the web understood it, people in different countries can read my page, and it was very, very adaptable and very usable. And it's also usable locally. So I can have a bunch of HTML files on my computer that I could just go through. I could name this like, index, or I could name it turn chats into profit or chat profit or something like that. And then I'm ready to go. And what I want is I want a way to go through and actually index everything. In fact, what I'll do, I'll pull up one of my index examples here, which is the TNT, which is an index of all my old websites that I've owned for years. I think I remember the code. There we go. And what this does is it actually indexes all of my files, all of my HTML, and I can go through and see like, oh, here's my old abs website. You could see all the different files and it can pull them up in a really cool way. And I actually have this password protected so that only I can use it, which is important because when you go through, sometimes you want stuff password protected so that members can pay for it, or maybe you don't want to use it yet or whatever. So going through here, I actually have all of these different folders, files, and everything, which helps me organize everything that I create. Now, when we use this with AI, we understand we can use HTML pages, checklists, and everything like that, but having HTML helps you organize everything. So in this example here, you can see that it has PHP files, it has image files, and the whole 9 yards, and it'll say, oh, here's the image file, or whatever. So going through and looking at that really, really helps. Now, before we go any further, while I've made millions of dollars with this stuff, the results are not typical, implied, or guaranteed. In fact, most people trying to make money online make nothing. So you want to take this with a grain of salt, understand it takes work, it takes effort, and even if you do everything perfect, it still might not work. So understanding that's everything. But here's the main point. Most people leave their best AI chats trapped inside ChatGPT. But if you turn those chats into HTML files, now you have something you can instantly view in a browser, any browser, upload it to a website, organize into folders, share with people, sell as a resource, give away for leads, turn into a full course, build into a directory, reuse over and over. Let me show you exactly how this works. If I was to go through with this example here in ChatGPT, which is about visual profits research, SEO presser, okay, I can take this page here as an HTML, and I can actually go through and download the page on its own. So if I want to go ahead and download it, I can download the code file right like that. I can open this on my browser, and boom, there we go. It's visual. I can see what it looks like. I can edit it. Now, if I actually want to put this on my server, all I would need to do is go to the code section right here, show code. I'm going to copy this code right like this. And you can even, hit the copy button up there if you want to make it quicker, or just do a Control-A, Control-C. And then if I wanted to go to a folder like this one for bloggingtothebank.com, I could go through and I can create a new file. I can call this seopresser.com or .html, right like this, seopresser.html, create new file. And then all I need to do is go to that file, boop-a-doop-a-doop, down here somewhere, SEO Presser, somewhere, let's see, SE. There we are, right? So we'll go right here, we'll hit edit. I'll put that code in there. I can even put affiliate links on this and I'm ready to go. What we're doing is we're instantly turning this into content. So now I can go to bloggingtothebank.com/seopresser.html. Boom. Now this is instantly visual, instantly usable. I could literally go SEO Presser affiliate program, see if they're still in business. They do have an affiliate program. Boom, I can start promoting this right away. Now, this is really cool because what we can actually do is we can make tools on top of tools that index them. This is absolutely a game changer because when I go through, if I wanted to go and say, let's go to ChatGPT, I'll open a new chat and I can say, please make an index, please make a PHP file. We're going to use PHP for this because it needs to read the server. You could probably do it in HTML, but I don't know if it's as good. Please make a PHP file that finds and lists all files on a server in folders, everything. And what this will do is it'll actually go there. It'll make a PHP that I can actually index. I can say password, protect this, and we'll just say, make the password 1234, password. And what this will do, and I'll say cPanel, and what this will do is it'll actually make a file that I can go through. I can just go to my server right here, and I can say file, we'll call this browse. Right, that way it browses the files, browse.php, create new file. And then what will happen is this file will find everything on my server. So as I go through and work with ChatGPT, I save them all as HTML. I dump them all on a server, right? Obviously, if you're in like the marketing niche or the basketball niche or something like that, throw the relative stuff on the server, okay? Or you could have one like a main hub where you have all of your stuff in one hub. That could work, but again, you just have to really, really focus on how the stuff's going to work, and hopefully these cameras will chill out for a minute. But going through and understanding how everything works is literally everything. And then what I can do is I can upload this file and it will fix all the stuff for me. Now, this is really cool because as I go with ChatGPT, I could even go through and have it create everything, right? So if I went through and let's see if ChatGPT would do that. I don't know if it would, but that would be kind of cool. Let's say ChatGPT, can you list out all the chats I have had with you to date with the links to the chat? Make this an HTML file so I can click and get that chat by name. And let's see if this would actually work. Now, this would be a file just for me because obviously I would need to be in my ChatGPT account for this to work. But it's something that would be helpful so I can organize what I'm doing, organize my thoughts, build it out. And then I can even go through, give this HTML to Manus AI or even ChatGPT, although Manus would do better. And I could say, now make an HTML file that has everything. Okay, so now I don't have reliable clickable URLs. What I can do if you export your data, so I can export it and then do it, or I could probably go through and get the links for it, like here. That would work. I know in Manus when I do it, I actually get the links from this here. Like if you go into where your credits are, you can just go through and get the list here, and this list actually has the links, but you have to put it in HTML to make it work. And what I've done is I've gone through and made HTML files that I can go and click and find everything, which is really cool. Now, we can also go through and take a look at all this other stuff and say, now make a list of all the chats I have had with you so far. And we might be able to find a way to set this up, but going through here, turning everything into a HTML file is game changing. So like this one here where it talks about data points, what will $100,000 a year get you in America, 2000 versus 2026. Now, see, like this data is cool and everything. Now make this an animated HTML page that animates when it's opened. And then it'll go through and do that for you. Now, this one, it looks like it's having a little bit of trouble exporting, but it might. Oh, so it did do some. So that's cool. So it actually did get the recent ones. I think with a little bit of tweaking, I can probably find them in data controls and stuff like that. But then going through, having these HTML pages is key. Now, what I want to show you here is how to have that index page. So going right here, this is going to make that index page for us. And what that'll do is it'll allow it to see everything, much like the one I had on the Simple Sites Big Profits that goes through all of our links and everything, which is really cool because once it goes through the links, now I can have it do all of the work and link everything together. And now I have a blog post or whatever it is. And then what will happen is you'll see I can make a sitemap so that Google can pick up all of the stuff that I have. So let's see here. It looks like it's having a little bit of a stall on PHP. There it is. So server lister. There's our file. Okay, now you'll notice that HTML and PHP will open in a, it'll open in Notepad, which is basically how code is written. So if I go over here to blogging to the bank and I say, okay, let's call this list.php, create, and then we should be able to just go into list right like this. And then as I do this, it's going to be a dumping ground. Let's see, list for all of my stuff. So edit, boom, save. And obviously we can change our password. So if I go blogging to the bank, list.php, now it's going to ask me my password. Boom. Now what it did is it actually listed all the stuff that I had, and I can have it make them links, right? So I would go through and say, okay, now make them links. Now make each one a link to the actual file. So when it pulls the list, I can copy links and click ECT. There we go. And then what we could do is we could start organizing it. And then what will happen is you can go through with ChatGPT, and let's say you're getting data on, how to build credit or something like that. And you're taking all of those things you have, you're dumping them in there, and then you can go through and start actually using it. Another thing you can do with HTML that's actually a game changer is you can call other files. This is something I've done quite a bit, where maybe I'll go through and save a bunch of TXT files as my chats, right? So I'll save a ChatGPT as a TXT, and then I can recall those within a file. This is what we did on personality prompts, where what we did, I turned this into a full-on course, and it works like crazy. Hopefully I have working logins here. Let's see. I don't know if I do. Let's go in the admin. Maybe the admin will let me in. Half the time I just forget all my passwords, but admin should let me in. Here we go. So we'll go in here, browse the users, and we should be able to log in right here. Log in. There we go. When we log in here in the personality prompts, what we did is we made HTML. So we have the HTML, which is the structure of how our website looks. When using something, you could say, here's my logo, here's my footer, here's the links I want on every page. That's where I have my logo, members, live training, support, this big banner, and all of this. Now, when they go into other pages, what I did is I wrote this to go and get all the HTML file, or the TXT files in this folder, right? So if you go into content business strategy, there's a bunch of TXT files. This page reads them and pulls them up like this. Now, what that does is it allows me to have a course where I can go through and just dump a bunch of TXT files. It will understand them and make them work with my template, with my theme, and boom, now I have a members area. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is a members area that has made me a little bit over 6 figures. Sorry, it's brand new. We just started it in October, but it made over 6 figures off of the launch. It does do recurring. I think I make like $1,000 a month off it right now. But I only promoted it one time. So this is something that's actually really good. And what I wanted to do was go through and be able to make a bunch of prompts that are very specific, and then have those prompts go through to where I didn't have to go and make a bunch of pages and put them on WordPress and all of that. I just dump a bunch of TXT files. And when I add a new TXT file, it'll pop up here automatically. That's the power of using this. And you can use this with HTML. You can use this with animated little graphics and stuff. And it makes a much better user experience for what you're trying to put together and for whatever you're trying to do. Now, let me give you another amazing tip. If you were to go with Manus AI, and let's say you have this one, okay? So we're going to go through here. We're going to take our server file like this. This should have the one that's clickable. Open it here, copy it from TXT, or from the TXT, which is a PHP file. We're going to put that in list, save, should still be logged in. Boom, there we go. Now, all of these are clickable. Okay, now what I could do is I could just start dumping all of the relevant stuff. I make a folder here for whatever, how to train your dog. I make a folder for what kind of dog to buy. I make a folder for dog names. All of this stuff will be organized. Then what I can do is I could literally go to Manus AI right over here, and I could say new task, password 1234, right? Obviously change it later. Go through here and make an organized HTML file with icons and categories and links. This will literally go through and do this. Now, this is the same kind of thing I do all the time, where I'll do a webinar. I'll have my team outsourcers make notes on the webinar, make little files on it, images, everything. Upload those to a big batch, give it to Manus and say, turn this into an organized visual course, an organized visual layout, and it'll do that, and it'll keep the link structure. Boom, I lock the folder. I instantly have something that I can sell. This is where you go through and start using AI in a way that other people aren't even thinking about. And what'll happen is it'll do all of this on its own, and you can have an upsell page, you can have a cross-sell page, you could go through and tie it into a membership site software. And going through, I mean, worst case scenario, you just start organizing your AI better, right? I go through my chats, or maybe like tonight, I can go through, I can give an outsourcer access to this and say, hey, you know what? I want to take these top AdSense keywords, which are good keywords, right? Like, I'm not doing anything with this. This was good data. It took my time. It took my effort. Now turn this into watch this. This will change the way you use AI. You're going to love it. I'm excited here. Sorry. But going through, watch this. Now turn this into an HTML page. Now, watch this. I can go over to SpyFu, and I can get a keyword term. Let's say keyword here. Search. I'm going to take that. I'm going to give this to the AI over here. Where'd it go? HTML page. Make each word click to this, but change it to be the actual keyword. Also, let's have a competition button that goes to, we could either do like the Ahrefs free keyword tool, or we could do, let's do Ahrefs free tool. Maybe like this one, keyword tool. I think it's like one of these. Yeah, so this here, let's see if it goes in the top. It did. So see how it says that there, and then it does the competition. So what I would do is I would go and say, now, where'd we go? Goes to this, and we'll put keyword %20 here. That way it doesn't get confused. Brand it with affiliate. Let's just get the logo. So I could go through and brand it. I'll do affiliatemarketingyou.com, brand it with my logo, copy image address. Watch this. You're just going to build this stuff in seconds, and I'll have something super usable. And these are the kind of things I can go through, and I can sell data on this. It works really well. Brand with my logo, clickable, to, let's just take them to HTTPS, www.affiliatemarketing, let's spell it right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it to my high ticket niche sales page, htnbonus.com. No, HTML bonus like that. Good. Then have links to get a high ticket niche with the same link there, and a footer with my live chat. And then I could just get the live chat from here. This is the live chat. And I could get this footer here, right, like this, give this to the AI, and then what's going to happen is it's going to build this. And every time I build this, I'm going to put this stuff in there, right? So I'm going to give it a different footer with live chat. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get that footer code right here, view page source, and then I'll just strip that code out there. That way we have it. So let's see, we got, you can usually kind of read your way around it. I'm not good with HTML, but I can kind of see like what's going on. Like I know this stuff, I don't know to touch that, right? I'm not going to look at that. What I could do is I could do provide support. So there's my live chat, and there's the footer, right? So now we have this here, put the live chat there, boom. And then when I start doing this with all of them, force center at bottom with footer and disclaimer. Boom. Now what this will do is it'll make that HTML page for me. It'll have all the links clickable. So now it's like a usable item rather than just something sitting in my ChatGPT, which, you know, who cares? Like I need something that's actually usable, helpful, something we can work with, okay? And something we could sell too. Like, hey, here's this thing that works. Or even affiliate links. Like thinking about, even if I didn't have a product to sell, I could be an affiliate of SpyFu and literally just click to these things, which is really cool. So now we'll go through Let's see what we have here. Did it get my, it did get my logo. Oh, let me give it my logo. I think I got ahead of myself. Copy image address. And we'll put the logo in there. Now it'll know the logo. Cool. That should do it. And then once we have that, I can upload it and it'll literally work, which is really cool. I can even say, put a search box on top that takes the term they enter and has 2 links, one for the SpyFu and the other for the Ahrefs. And then that should do it. We'll do that after this page is made. So I'm just going to copy that. Let's reload. Sometimes it takes a minute to get the thing built. But it'll build that page for us. And you're going to see how we can instantly turn a simple chat where I, search for something into something that can make money. And that's really the key, is understanding that. That's what I've done for years, where I go through and build things people want based on how they search. And what we want to do is start with a problem. Okay, what do I have with the chats? What am I going to do with them? How am I going to use them? We need to start turning this stuff into useful things, because what you've done with AI, it could be really good, but nobody's ever going to see it unless you put it somewhere. Then we're going to look at what we can create. Okay, HTML pages, different things like that. It's cool to make PDFs and everything. And this file, the one we made, that'll actually search the folder, right? This one over here, where did it go? We had it right over here somewhere. This file here, right? If I had PDFs and images in here, it would find them also. And you could see, I could click and see what pages are there, and I can click and see this one here, and on we go. This is super important because now we have something usable. We need to get out of the age of like using AI and getting fun, cool stuff that we like, and getting into things that are actually going to build a business. Now, once this one's built, hopefully it'll go through and do that for us. But it's really cool because it'll actually take these and they'll be able to click it and go here and see, oh, hey, what's this word worth? Boom, there you go. Or like roofing contractor or whatever. And it'll go through and give you that data. And then the Ahrefs free tool will also do that. So really cool stuff. It'll really do that work for you and help you understand exactly what's going on, which is literally everything, right? So that it'll put that in there for them automatically, and boom, there you go. And it'll do that data. Again, going through and working with it is everything. If I could go through and make something people would work, boom, there we go. So let's wait and see how this page comes out. I'll show you what it looks like. We'll upload it. You could test it out and everything like that. This is the same kind of thing we did with Search Time Machine. This was a completely built with AI tool where we went through it, made this page here. It made an opt-in, so if they want to get access, they can opt in over at searchtimemachine.com. And then now it's got all of these tools here and little links they can use and little operators they can click and test. I mean, it's usable. Like thinking about, oh, here's a report on search operators. Here's a report on how to use a phrase. Okay, that's boring. This is something that is instantly usable that people will actually get value out of. This is key. Now we have our HTML. It's making it and saving it. There we go. So we got local page. Let's see. Why is that not clickable? There we go. So let's see what it looks like. There's our local page. Here we go. Affiliate marketing dude. Get a high ticket niche. So it's going to sell my niches. Boom. Goes right to my page where they can order. Then we go through browse keywords. Here we got all of our keywords. I would want this better. Yeah. So I'm going to say make the keywords. Let's do put a search box at the top and make the keywords in a table with estimated EPC, CPC, and the link to Ahrefs for comp and link to SpyFu. One table per row. I think that's row, right? Columns are down, yes. So we'll do like that, and that'll restructure it because that was I didn't like the way it listed those. I do like how it has my live chat, the high ticket niche, whole 9 yards. That's really cool. And then this is something I can go and give to people. And it's like, hey, here's a list of really expensive stuff. Boom, there you go. So going through here, let's see. So browse keywords goes there. It does have a search. Let's do loan. Roof. I know roof was in there. So it does have some of them. But again, this is not, I don't like this, and it didn't work with the link. So hopefully this will understand it. I know Manus would. But again, at the end of the day, what I want is something very, very straightforward so that it'll be like, shoom, research table. So let's see how this does. Styling's in place. Adding the research any term. Each keyword gets its own row. Good. And then this should do the trick. But then when I'm done, all I need to do is put that in my server, right? So I just go through here. So I'll do blogging to the bank. And let's call this blogging to the bank slash, let's just put it in its own folder. Okay, so I'll do up folder. We'll call this search or something like that. Okay, or let's do high ticket because high ticket keywords, that makes sense. So in high ticket, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this HTML. Let's see here. Where do we go? Blogging to the bank. And we'll do folder, high ticket, boom. And then we'll just do file index.php because it might have some code in it. So PHP and HTML pretty much interchangeable. The only difference is PHP will not open on your computer. It'll only open on the web. So it does need to be on a server for that to happen. So let's see how this one's doing. It's still thinking. And we'll go. Real typed keyword or row keyword. Good. So it understood what we wanted. Now we'll go through and boom. But this is something cool that you could start going through all your old chats where you were like, hey, that was good, but I don't know what to do with it. And you could start building them up. So now we have this. Okay, so let's go. We'll just go to this one, code. And we'll copy the code, put that over here, edit, boom, paste the code, blogging to the bank slash high ticket, boom. Now we have click build the niche, get a high ticket niche. Cool, I could put my thing in here, money, SpyFu, pulls it open for money, pulls it open for Ahrefs, perfect, has the word in it. Now we have our list. Again, it did miss the mark. I don't like that. For whatever reason, it missed that. So what I'm going to do, since it missed it, I'm going to go to Manus, and I'm going to say, fix this page so each keyword is on its own row in a table with the CPC estimate and the clickable links. It should understand it. I'm just going to paste that HTML there, and it should understand to do that and build it and fix it. And then what we'll have is a really good layout with the whole thing all set up and ready to go. But again, thinking about it like, okay, what else do I have here? Maybe I got help desk software keywords. Okay, cool. I could use that. Or photo editing prompts. See how I converted this into HTML where we have these different keywords people can use. So I could make an entire membership site, $7, $27, $97 a month or whatever, where I go through and find different keywords and have little things where they can copy them, whatever. Or I could go through like photo editing prompts. This is one that has tons of prompts. And with this, I could go through, I could have Manus make an entire HTML list with the prompts. And now I have something they can use. Big visual data companies or all kinds of stuff like this where we go through and we're like, okay, this actually works in a very, very straightforward way. Let's see how Manus is doing with our list here. Looks like it's doing it. So literal backslash JavaScript. For whatever reason, it used JavaScript, which is kind of funny. But even then, I could just go through and say, hey, put these in a table, and then I can do something with that table as long as it's HTML. Now let's see here. Going. And let's see if it does this for us. And if it's HTML, it should work in the browser so we could view it. It looks like it's working. There we go. And let's see if it fixed the table there. Page is fixed. Here's what's wrong and what was corrected. Good. Now there's our page. Okay, let's see how it looks. Perfect. That's what I wanted right there. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the code. We're going to copy it. Boom. We're going to put that on our server. Now, all of that work I did about high cost per click keywords is now something that's instantly usable. All right, check this out. This is totally cool, right? So now we got this. I would clean up a little bit of the formatting up there. It's probably just something simple. But now we can go through, and there we go. They're going to see Tampa. Boom. There's the cost per click. This is super cool, right? And now it'll go there. And then I can go through and just keep building and growing. But this now makes me something that I can use that is instantly recognizable, right? Instead of just something sitting in my ChatGPT that's going to do nothing, now it's something that actually usable, workable, editable, searchable, and now something that I can go through. Now, going through here, this is why HTML and PHP wins, because it's totally universal. It's clickable, it's adaptable, it's moldable. Then what we're going to do is upload it once it's on the host. Now we can build a library of content. We can do like the PHP that'll go and find the content. We can make a directory. We can monetize it, put some paid offers on it, affiliate programs, ads, whatever it is, and we're ready to go. This is the kind of thing I teach all the time over at AIProfitScoop.com. If you want to work with me, we show how to do this. We show everything. So if you're tired of using AI and not getting anywhere, check out AIProfitScoop.com. There's 2 ways to join. One inexpensive way where you get the Tuesday calls, or you could be AI Profit Scoop Elite, where we have 2 calls a week, all the replays, all the tools, all of the stuff I have for you. I mean, it is a game changer. We got everything showing you how I use AI every single day to make money online. Thanks for watching. This is our challenge day 6, I think we're on, showing you all the things that I use AI for to make money. Smash the like button, check out the links in the description, and I'll see you over at AIProfitScoop.com.